Hello students, welcome to Legacy IS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about a topic or an issue that has been in news from past few days is regarding the attack of Houthi rebels on the Abu Dhabi city. There was actually a petroleum reserve and there it was attacked in the Abu Dhabi city of United Arab Emirates. So in this particular video, we are going to discuss about who are the Houthis, why they have attacked UAE, what are their ideologies, and what is at stake as far as the India is concerned. So let us start and delve deeper into this particular issue. So first of all, if we try to understand the context in which we are discussing this particular topic, so as discussed before, the suspected drone attack has been carried out on 3 petroleum tankers in Abu Dhabi city of United Arab Emirates, which is also the capital of the country. And due to this attack, 2 Indians as well as 1 Pakistani national who were working in that near that petroleum tanker has been killed. Later, the Iran-backed Houthi rebels that are mainly based in Yemen have taken the responsibility for the attack, and also they have warned for the future that UAE is not safe state as long as the UAE has a very aggressive posture or involved in aggressive escalation against any kind of aggressive escalation against Houthi rebels in country of Yemen. Now, if we try to understand that who are the Houthis and where is Yemen located. So first of all, if you look at the map, we can see this is the Yemen. Yemen is located to the south of Saudi Arabia and to the west of Oman, and on the southern side it is surrounded by Indian Ocean, the Gulf of Aden, while in the eastern side we have, in the western side of Yemen we have the Red Sea. So it actually lies in a very strategic point at the junction of Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, and that is why it actually has very strong control over Bab al-Mandab Strait that connects Red Sea with the Indian Ocean or Red Sea with the Arabian Sea. And since large amount of petroleum, we can say petroleum tankers as well as other goods and goods are being transported via Red Sea to the Indian Ocean regions, it is a very important junction as far as the maritime trade is concerned. Now coming to the main point, that who are the Houthis? So Houthis are actually a sect of Islam who belong to Jaidi Shia sect, and they are the followers of Shia this belief system. Overall, they make up 35% of country's population, and they actually have a very strong protest against the increasing influence of Salafism. Now, Salafism is a ideology that is present in Islam whose origin can be traced from the medieval time Saudi Arabia. So this Jaidi sect, follower of Houthis were follower of Jaidi sect. Houthis actually they are tribe. So they have very strong, we can say, protest against the increasing influence of Salafism in the Yemen, and that is why they do not want the Sunni based Salafism to spread further in Yemen, and that is why they are protesting against this and also taking armed action against such kind of we can say spread. Now, if we try to understand that what is the ideology that is driving the Houthi actions, so first of all, if we try to understand that the Houthi rebellions were founded by a person that is called as Hussein Badruddin al-Houthi, and their main belief is that their slogan, this is that God is great, and they believe in the they actually are very against the influencing role of USA or asserting role of USA in the Middle East, especially in Yemen. That is why they demand death to America, death to Israel, because they also have anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish sentiments. They try to curse on the Jews and victory to Islam. So God is great, death to America, death to Israel, curse on the Jews and victory to Islam. In that paragraph, we can understand it sums up the Houthi ideologies. And Houthi ideologies, since they are a follower of Shia sect, and Iran is also a largely Shia dominated and Shia ruled country, they get a very strong backing of Iran, because Iran also want to increase its assertive influence, and that is why it is easier for him, or it is better for the Iran and Iranian politicians that more and more countries come under the Shia domain, Shia dominated influence. So that is why Iran backs it. However, if we try to understand the development that is happening in the Yemen and how Houthi rebels started acting there. So first of all, the beginning can be traced back to year 2004, when an insurgent movement was launched mainly because of large scale corruption that was going on in the current in the hitherto government of the Yemen that time. And to protest this, Hussein Badruddin al-Houthi launched a movement, and that is when the Houthi revolt has started. Then, fast following 8 years later, as you know that large number of countries around African region, they started having Arab Spring, and here actually that time the president of Yemen was Ali Abdullah Saleh, and against the sitting government of Ali Abdullah Saleh, lot of people also started supporting the Houthi rebels, and they started taking a very strong hold on the movement of Yemen. Following in the year between 2015 to 2017, as Saleh was removed from his post, another person or another president was made up, his deputy prime minister became the new president, and now Saleh also made an alliance with the Houthi rebellion, and he started supporting the Houthi rebellions to take back the power. However, later, 2 years later, the Ali Abdullah Saleh believed or felt that his alliance with Houthi is not well founded, and then he broke the alliance and changed allegiance back to the sitting government, as well as he has also started backing the Saudi Arabia and other countries that were involved in the Yemen that time. Further, if we talk about the involvement of other countries, as the Houthi rebellion started to rise and as Houthi rebel group started to gain more and more ground in the Yemen, other countries, especially Sunni monarchies led by Saudi Arabia, they started to become very worried, and as they started to become very worried, they actually launched an attack by a coalition that was led by Saudi Arabia. However, this coalition was also based, or we can say backed by 3 countries, that is US, UK and France, and they started an air campaign or air strike in the Yemen with the sole aim of defeating the Houthi rebel group. So basically what we can try to understand that this warfare is actually a sectarian warfare between 2 different sects of Islam, Houthis who follow Shia and the Saudi Arabian government and other Sunni monarchy who follow the Sunni sect, and both of these sects are very much want that their dominance is more and their we can say control area increases, and that is what the whole war is going on. However, due to this air campaign launched by the Saudi backed forces, a kind of civil war situation emerged in Yemen where Houthis were driven out from the south of Yemen. However, in the northwestern region, the Saudi-led coalition totally failed to remove them, and as of now, they have very strong hold on the northwestern region of the Yemen. Following that, if you try to understand that now why the Houthi rebels have attacked the United Arab Emirates, so main reason can be given to the fact that the UAE has also been since March 2015 a member of the Saudi-led coalition group who has been involved or which has been involved in the air strikes or air raid on the Yemen, especially on the Houthi rebels. And most recently, Yemeni giant brigades, which is a kind of a group, or we can say a fractal group in the Yemen, they are actually backed by United Arab Emirates, and they launched a very aggressive attack in the oil-rich region of southeastern province of Sabah, which was controlled by the Houthi. Due to this attack, the Houthis claimed that they had shipped, and in retaliation, they claimed that they seized a UAE ship that was called as Rawabe, which was moving along the Yemen coast and was carrying large amount of petrol in reserve. And the recent attack, the drone attack on the petroleum tankers of UAE, can also be said to be the chain of events that was triggered by this movement or triggered by this action of Yemeni giant brigades backed by UAE. Now, if we try to understand that what is the stand of India regarding this whole drone attack, so obviously Indian government condemns any violent kind of activities by any terror groups or by any organized group, and in the similar way, Ministry of External Affairs and the Minister of External Affairs also, Dr. S. Jaishankar, he has condemned the attack in very stern tone and has emphasized that in this day and age, such an attack on the innocent lives and innocent civilians are totally unacceptable and against all the civilized norms. At the same time, MEA of India, that is Ministry of External Affairs of India, has also expressed solidarity with the government of United Arab Emirates, because as we know that from past few years or past few decades actually, the relationship in all the dimensions, whether it is a strategic dimensions, whether it is a security dimension, or whether it is an economic dimension, as well as the diaspora, in all these sectors, the relationship between UAE and India is growing very magnificently, in a very strong way, and that is why India is a very good ally and friend of the UAE, and so they also express solidarity and have condemned such kind of attack. However, as the attack has not been directly done on the Indian soil, because the Houthi leaders have claimed that the killing of Indian Pakistan citizens were not targeted killing and they were just collateral damage, as the attack were carried out mainly on the United Arab Emirates. So India as of now do not have any direct stake in this particular war, the civil war that is going on in the Yemen between Houthi rebels and other Sunni dominated group. So that is why India cannot involve here directly, but overall that is the stand India has taken, a non-violent approach against this particular act. So that is all about this particular issue, the Houthi attacks on UAE. I hope you understood the topic and some brief points regarding that. We'll come back soon again with another interesting topic. Till then, take care. Thank you very much.